here with Andrew Stanniland, the UK CEO of Thales Alenia Space. So lovely to see you. You've just stepped off the stage. What topics were you discussing?
Hi, we were talking about the space strategy for the UK 1 year on from its release. We were talking about the successes that we've had in that 12-month period, some of the challenges that we still see, and mostly whether it was still relevant with everything that's going on in Europe and with the hyperinflation crisis and now the energy crisis.
Tell us about some of the recent projects that you've got going on.
So most of what we do is satellite based, so we're a manufacturer of satellites and satellite instruments, and at the moment the big things we've got going on are either dealing with exploration or with climate change or with telecommunications. So we cover quite a range of things. We are designing and manufacturing the refueling station that will go around the moon for the lunar missions in the future. We are working on a couple of climate change missions for measuring carbon dioxide both in cities and across the whole globe. And we're building propulsion subsystems for some of the telecommunications satellites that are going to bridge the digital divide in Africa, South America and places like that.
And how can satellites create such an important positive change here on Earth?
I think they do a number of things. I mean, firstly, the mission of the satellite. So it just talks about the fact that bridging that digital divide, you can't go and lay cable across the whole of Africa. So satellite communication is the only real means of getting quick communications to people. I think measuring climate change is the first step to dealing with climate change. And over half of the data that we use in order to come up with the plans of fixing our planet come from space assets that are measuring the way we are creating all that carbon dioxide and other harmful gases. So that's very real, but more for the likes of us, satellite navigation, we use it every day. Most of us couldn't have got to this show without having the postcode of Gate F to get in. So little tangible things like that are really, really important.
And how important is collaboration with other companies when it comes to achieving objectives in space?
It's hugely important. I mean, without collaboration, you can't do anything in space. It's such a wide-ranging topic, such a big industry. There's no one company can do everything on its own. So whether it's working with the supply chain in a much more traditional sense, or whether it's coming together with like-minded, like-cultured companies that have different pieces of the jigsaw puzzle, that's really at the heart of what we do. And it's at the heart of one of the pillars of the UK Space Agency's strategy to develop clusters of space companies all around the UK in different areas, so that it's a lot easier. We take away some of those barriers to collaborate with each other.
How important do you think it is to have a space event to bring together the UK and international space industry?
I think it's really important. I mean, post-COVID, getting us all back together is really, really important. This was one of the first expos last year, and after we were allowed out, and it was really important to remake those connections and start that collaboration. So I think there are a lot of exhibitions and events like this in the UK. We're quite a gravity centre for space and defence exhibitions and conferences, but this one, it's only for space companies. And I think you can see just in 1 year the increase in interest in it, with the number of people that have come this year that weren't here last year and the number of people that are exhibiting. So it's a great place to meet everybody and to reconnect and to, as the Deputy of the UKSA said in his keynote, to meet old friends and to meet some new friends that you don't know yet. So for us, it's really important to be here. We didn't exhibit last year, but this year we have got a stand, so hopefully that'll catalyse some new connections.
Andrew, thank you very much.
Welcome.